Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson and wherever audio podcasts can be found. On today's episode, we've got your Smackdown lowdown for January 10th, 2025.
Look at you. That all professional and stuff.
Woo, it's
What is
Friday night.
this?
Brother,
What is this?
I will tell you this really quick. My mind is working, my body ain't. I don't know why. Maggie thinks I got a bug. I am so sore.
I hope you don't, because I was around you for 2 hours playing basketball.
We were outside, man. But no, I am so sore after basketball. I'm usually not this bad off. There's like things on my body that's like hurting, and I'm like, what?
Well, you said you went to the gym a couple days ago. Compound that with running a lot. I feel like I ran a lot more the last game of half court, because that's like all I could do.
It was a lot of fun, though.
It was fun.
It is a lot of fun anyways. Yeah, our twice weekly basketball session is always a lot of fun. Also, fun. A lot of wrestling in our SmackDown tonight. We're going to talk about that here in a second. This is a meat and potatoes episode of SmackDown, Larson.
There was one stellar match, though.
There was some good wrestling tonight.
There was one match that was really, really good. I'm talking about the women's four-way match. That match was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a really good one. We got a new number one contender for Tiffany Stratton's WWE Championship. But first, speaking of WWE Championships, over on the men's side of things, a lot of people, a big to-do was made, if you will, about the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's promo. The Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's promo on the Netflix Raw debut.
Yeah, I thought you said your brain was working fine there, buddy.
Man, it's moment by moment at this point. Anyways, Dwayne dropped a promo where he was basically like, Cody Rhodes, you're really cool. Let's get on Instagram and drink. And I'm going to get in my truck and do some driving, crazy driving all over the road. In any event, a lot of people were like, aren't these guys supposed to be like rivals? Like, aren't we supposed to maybe expect possibly like a WrestleMania match or something between these guys? Well, there is some info regarding the backstage details, real reason, whatever you want to use in order to boost our ratings. In this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, what did Dave Meltzer say, Larson?
Dave said the following regarding The Rock's Mania status, and some of this is not at all surprising. Quote, according to those in the company, as was made clear, Rock versus Rhodes, the originally planned main event for this year's Mania, is not happening. From appearance, it looks as though he is not wrestling on the show, at least in a serious capacity, as noted here. He had not committed to doing so, and still not has committed, but it's always up to him. The idea of Rock versus Reigns, we have been told by several, is not dead, and they still could go to that in the future, perhaps Mania, but the idea is somewhere else, particularly with the crazy money some places are paying fighters. That could also be an option. It's up to him if he wants and has time to go through the training camp he feels is necessary to prepare himself at his age to do the match. So again, not a massive surprise. No Rocket Mania. That seemed to be the case for months. Some clarity as far as if Rock was going to be involved. It was for sure going to be against Cody. That is seemingly, especially after how he and Cody seemingly patched things up and were sharing some booze backstage on Raw. So I wonder if it's a situation where WWE is maybe hoping to get one more match out of Dwayne. Just one more.
Yeah.
And the match they want, maybe the match he wants, not sure it's the match Roman wants, is Rock Roman.
Rock Roman makes the most sense. I'm sure Roman would be totally great with that. I think he'd be fine with it. I sort of half joke around and kind of joke around and kind of half serious about it that I think Roman Reigns wanted the Cody match last year because it made sense for the story. And so he was probably one of the guys kind of pushing for that. So like that leaves everybody pushing that for that except for The Rock. That being said, I would think that Roman Reigns would totally understand that a Rock match would be huge business. So I'm sure that he would love that. And I think they did kind of set that possibility up at the Netflix thing. And hell, like, people have said in the comments, they could bring Rock back and still do Cody if they wanted to. I don't think the Netflix thing ruled anything out. It was just kind of a funny little bit of breaking kayfabe for the Netflix people, which is fine for the casual fans, I guess. But yeah, interesting. I mean, Dave's not saying anything new here. But it is kind of interesting to get speculation and information from those other guys with regards to this. But yeah, if they're gonna do one more Dwayne match, it's got to be Roman. It's got to be Roman.
Yeah, it has to be Roman. It absolutely
Yeah.
has to be Roman. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of it when it comes to that. I mean,
Well, we can always now, of course, speculate on because right now I think you and I both think it's going to be Cena Cody at Mania. Is that right?
yeah, I think it's going to be Cena, Cody, and then probably Phil and Roman.
You know what we can do? How about this? Let's just do a good old fashioned power rank. Cody Rhodes' top 5. I was just talking in the pre-show about how we don't do enough short stuff. Here's an easy bite for you.
There we go.
Let's power rank Cody Rhodes' top 5 WrestleMania opponents. We've already said number 1, John Cena.
Correct. Yes, John Cena number 1. Number 2 for Cody.
I mean, they set up a possibility with Roman Cody tonight.
They did, so that's a good 2. I would say even CM Punk. They might change course and say, give us Phil, Cody. Let's say Punk at 3.
I'd say Punk at 2. I would hesitate to think they would do Roman Cody again.
Oh, you don't want the trilogy?
No, not really. No. I mean, that's a good number 3, but give me something fresh. Give me
one-on-one, no outside interference.
How many crossroads does it take to beat Roman?
How many did it take last year? 3?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
4.
And then, so here's the thing, like Cody gets that 4th one, he and Roman, more respect now between the two of them. And as they get out to leave together, before Pyro goes off, keep rolling.
Oh,
Undertaker comes down, does a lap, meets them up on the stage again, and they all look back into the camera. Then the Pyro goes off. How about that?
Very well.
Oh, that seemed not enthusiastic.
No, you're shoehorning Undertaker in there.
Yeah, man, but it makes perfect sense for this.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, my bad.
Doesn't make any sense. What about Randall Keith Orton?
Number 4, Randy Orton in the main event of WrestleMania. This ain't 2009, man.
He's been there before.
Yeah, what year was that? 2009, I think.
It was a while ago.
8, 7, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he was main event of 30.
30.
So that was what,
he was in
2014?
the main event at 30. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago. So yeah, Randy Orton, and then I don't know who else. Oh, here we go. Groovy here in the Twitch chat says Seth Rollins number 5, so that Seth Rollins can lose again to Cody Rhodes because Seth Rollins is Bret Hart. He is the Bret Hart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of current WWE.
Totally, 1,000%.
Oh man.
Z0 says main event Jey Uso.
Well, here's the thing about main event Jey Uso is that like it kind of is firmly determined at this point that name is simply ironic. So he's not really a main event guy. That really wouldn't work.
I mean, he just beat Drew McIntyre.
No.
Drew's someone that could take on.
No.
Cody.
Mr. Sinister has it. Ric Flair. Cody's a big NWA fan, of course, the son of, did you know this, Dusty Rhodes?
News to me.
And Ric Flair, big NWA guy. The wrestling, not the rap group.
I just knew Ric Flair from the 1992 Royal Rumble.
You're that much of a Fed guy, huh? No, wait a second. So, like, you were watching as a kid, kind of, weren't you, back then?
Yeah. I was watching. So predominantly like in the mid '80s, and it was here and there throughout the early '90s. Stopped for a while and got back into it during the Attitude Era. So I remember.
Did you know who Flair was before he came to the?
I didn't watch Crockett Productions.
Did you?
I didn't know it existed till probably 1997.
Hold on, big timer. You had cable. Why weren't you flipping over to the Superstation?
I don't know. That's a good question. Here's the thing, too. So
you were a USA Network guy.
I guess so, because here's the thing. Growing up, there was 2 stations that you could always find baseball on. It was WGN, which had the Cubs games, and TBS, which had the Braves games.
Yeah.
I watched a ton of Cubs games. Don't think I ever watched a Braves game.
Interesting.
I guess I didn't know where TBS was in the dial.
I guess not. That's fascinating. Like you guys were big ballers, had cable before anybody else, and you weren't sitting there. So let's fast forward to 1992, man. I want to get some history here because it's Friday night, right? Why not, right? We got to perk up a little bit. When he showed up, do you remember watching when he showed up and him having the pixelated belt?
Well, they didn't pixelate it back then, Steve. So I didn't watch a lot in the early 90s.
Hold on, wait. Is that true?
I don't think they pixelated it initially. No.
I thought they got like sued or something, and then like they just started.
Well, like his first appearance, they didn't pixelate it.
Right, because they couldn't. But I thought, didn't
Yeah.
he try to wear it like afterwards, and they did that to like cause controversy or something? I think
Honestly.
Fear and Loathing says they. I think they did. Yeah.
All right.
think I thought. Look, I wasn't watching back then, so I don't know. You're the historian here. What am I doing?
I wasn't
What am
watching
I
a
doing?
bunch back then. I remember. I think I was flipping through channels and saw Superstars once, and Ric Flair was there.
Okay.
Don't
And
remember
you
what
were
they
like,
doing.
who?
He was with Heenan. That's all I remember.
You ask yourself, who is this guy?
Yeah, I was like, why? What's that? Is that a new replica title they're doing? He's got it around his waist there.
The shit is this guy?
Yeah, 92. I was not 91, 92 was not watching a ton back then. It was
Okay.
mostly like 85 to 89 was kind of like my prime watching years. More or
Okay.
less.
All right. Well, there you
So
go.
sorry to disappoint.
Let's see. Jack Bauer per Chat GPT says yes. In some instances, Ric Flair's World Championship belt was pixelated. Man, yeah, I think it probably was, but like you can't trust.
No,
that
it was.
shit.
I just didn't think it was the very first time.
No, it wasn't. But then I think they got sued, and then they were
that's
like,
what
"That's
I
what
thought the
they
very
did
first
with
time
it."
they did pixelate.
Yeah, and then I think they gave, if I remember correctly, I think they gave him like a bunk version of a new Real World's
Yeah,
Championship
they did.
that
They
wasn't
did.
the big gold
They
belt.
dusted off some title from the archives or something. Gave it
It was
to
like
him,
a tag title or some
Yeah,
shit
it
like
was.
that.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways,
weird,
good
very
times.
weird.
Good times.
I guess we can talk about a couple things from SmackDown. before
Well,
we get
let's
to the-
actually we got some sponsors here. Why don't we
Oh.
go ahead and do that?
Sure.
Because I think this is gonna look. This is gonna be a breezy ass episode of SmackDown recapping here because not a lot actually happened. There was a lot of wrestling, not a lot actually happened. So why don't we go ahead and talk about these sponsors here
sure.
first?
Well, let's take a quick break here. Good word from our sponsor, DraftKings Pick 6. Steve, the NFL playoffs are here. Yeah!
Woo!
Time is running out to play DraftKings Pick 6 as the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL. DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else.
That is correct, Larson. And getting started with Pick 6 is super easy, too. All you got to do is select two or more players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, and more. And get this, man. DraftKings is now making it even sweeter for first-time players. It's too sweet because new Pick 6 customers play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits.
So win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code RAW. That's code RAW for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
All right, we got Bill Pick 6 here with some disclosures about the whole thing. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Thank you, Bill Pick 6, for those disclosures. We appreciate it. Larson, we have another sponsor for today's show as well.
We do. And this episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. With the new year comes 365 blank pages waiting to be filled with the story of your year. While resolutions might not last past February, you can still pick up the pen and become the author of your own life.
And therapy can be your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the story that you want to live. Larson, what was your story like in your, say, mid-20s?
Bummer. Just a real bummer.
Oh, no.
Total bummer.
Oh, no.
I was dealing with severe anxiety, kind of doing a whole lot of nothing with my life. Really not doing a whole lot of anything. When I realized, though, that I had to go to therapy. Therapy helped me learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety and help me write the story of the life that I wanted to live.
And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. With BetterHelp, you can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties and easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost.
So write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/raw.
And every time we do that, I hope that your life would have been a grand adventure that you're writing in those pages, Larson. And then
Well,
it's
it's just that stretch mid-20s. Bummer.
oh, okay, just womp womp.
I mean, I can't change that now. Got no time machine.
You can't rewrite your pages.
No,
It's already in permanent ink, I guess.
guess so. Been
What a
printed.
drag. It's always a bummer. Anyways, so we got some a lowdown here on the Royal Rumble, thanks to Paul E. Dangerously.
Let me ask you a question. Who went out there and gave the longest announcement of entrant to a Royal Rumble? John Cena on Raw or Paul Heyman on SmackDown tonight?
I think Cena, because it was Cena. Cena went from like, I'm a loser and I'm not even talking about a bummer. He's like, you in your mid-20s, man. He came out there, he's like, I suck. I've got one more year in this place and I'm terrible.
It's like I'm doing a whole lot of nothing with my career.
And then he's like, but I can luck into a victory between now and then. So and it was just forever, and it was really corny. Dude, I think Cena is a phenomenal actor. I think I think this dude is actually going to start choosing some. If you watch like some of his stuff that's got some fucking nuance to it, Cena, I think, he's no Batista, but he's got the ingredients to be a Dwayne better than Dwayne actor.
It depends on the role. It depends.
Yeah,
on the role.
1,000% in the writing, absolutely.
Whereas I feel like you put Batista in almost anything, he's going to be good.
He's great.
Yeah.
This was not one of his better performances. Him in the WWE these days, it's just a recipe for corny. At least Paul Heyman, regardless of what he's saying, has the gravitas as Paul Heyman. So if your question is who went longer, I do not have that statistic in front of me. However, I would say that Paul E. Dangerously's Roman Reigns promo was a bit more interesting, I guess. I wasn't.
Well, I mean, he prefaced it, saying he was Roman was the undisputed tribal chief. Put your one up for your tribal chief, Steve.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Roman has authorized him to make an announcement, but due to the nature of this announcement, Cody, come on out.
Yeah.
Cody comes to the ring, full pyro, woes, all that. And Heyman says to him, I've respected you. Roman respects you. You're a great champion. And because you're such a great champion, Roman has asked me to come out here to tell you now that he won back the Ulafala, and now he wants his title back. So there's no surprises. Roman wants you to know that he's getting it back. Not a prediction, spoiler. He's in the Rumble. So he says, Cody, respectfully, what do you want to talk about? So again, not a huge surprise. Roman's in the Rumble. We expected that.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to win.
He's going to be in the Final Four. I still think if Rock's not going to be there, like Punk. Oh, you and I have a whole bet over who's going to get night 2, Punk and Roman, but I think Drew still has an outside chance of getting Roman at Mania. It might be like a
Punk, Roman,
solo.
Drew, and Cena.
Punk, Four? Roman, Drew, Cena. I could see that being the case.
Yeah,
I could see that being the case. Maybe Rollins will play spoiler. Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Because Rollins will probably eliminate Punk.
You got Rollins out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Rollins, Cena, Drew, Roman.
Yeah, it could be. That could be. That could be. But yeah, no. I'll put it this way. The interesting thing about it, look, he's obviously not going to come out and say Roman Reigns wants a new challenge, Gunther. It's obvious that he wants Cody's title, but with that, and Roman's been saying this since he's been back, he wants the title, but it's a bit more on solid ground that he wants the title. So at some point, they're going to revisit Cody Roman, you would think.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah.
Unless Cody ends up losing that title and Roman's quest to title takes him to a Drew McIntyre or a John Cena, even.
Or John Cena, yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. They should revisit the Cena Roman shit where Cena was like, all I have to do is roll you up.
Oh yeah.
The least compelling promo, a feud over Cena being obsessed with rolling up Roman Reigns.
I know. It was such a weird angle to take with that.
All I got to do is one, and he keeps on rolling him up
said,
every week.
Like if we have a real match, odds are I can't beat you, so I have to roll you up.
I'm gonna try to be sneaky.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll you up.
That's all I got to do.
I gotta be opportunistic. So then Cody gets the mic. Kevin Owens interrupts. and says, you want to talk about? I want to talk about how you couldn't get worse, Cody. When it couldn't be worse than you teaming up with Roman. It gets worse. You shake hands with The Rock. Why? Because he kissed your ass.
No,
Now you shake hands.
Dwayne's a big deal, man.
Now you shake hands with Paul Heyman. What happens? 30 seconds after he says Roman wants his title back. That is your fault. You did it to yourself. You should have left the bloodline to rip him to shreds. Forget about betraying my friendship. You're betraying the entire company. So I like this idea that if Roman gets the title back, his reign of terror starts all over again.
I mean, you could argue that it's already begun as soon as he got back. The man literally said, "I'm not going to change."
Yep.
Said those words.
Yep. He did.
Roman, you're an asshole, man. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed it, and I know people love being around you, which is why they're totally fine being treated like assholes and still being around you, Sami Zayn. And then he was like, "I want you to apologize to Jay." That didn't happen.
No, it never happened.
Never. Boy, that build to War Games really could have been something good.
I know. They didn't fast track it, I know.
And they fast tracked the shit out of that.
Did.
I like the Zondo in Twitch chat says Cena's new character is I suck. What if you slip on a banana peel? That's essentially what it is.
So yeah, it's interesting that, even though the crowd embraces Roman as a babyface now, put your ones up for your tribal chief, Steve.
This is the second time, man. Can this be it, please?
He's basically the same character.
Shoulders hurt after basketball today.
Shoulders hurt.
Yeah, it's like hurts up here. I don't know why. I didn't even do anything really down low all that much.
No, you didn't.
I was like staying away from them. I'm like, I don't want to bang down there today. It's gonna
take you more energy than just shooting jumpers.
I know. That's what all I did today. Just take ill-advised shot after ill-advised shot.
Yeah, that's my whole game, man. So anyways, Cody chases after KO in the crowd. They are brawling up in the crowd. So Heyman's in the ring. Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu show up. He turns around. He's shocked. He's backing into a corner. Jim Uso's music hits. He runs down to take out Jacob and Tama. Eventually gets a chair. Hits Tama Tonga with it. Hits Jacob. Jacob no-sells. So we get more attack on Jimmy via Tama and Jacob Fatu. Eventually, they put a chair around Jimmy's head. They're going to Pillmanize him in the corner. Jacob, they send refs out. Jacob obliterates a ref with a super kick.
Yeah.
That looked like that hit flush.
It did, yeah. It did.
And then Kenny Dykstra, super kick for you too.
Mm-hmm.
This all gives Cody enough time to run back into the ring, defend off bad bloodline, clotheslines Jacob out of the ring. So later on, after commercial, we're backstage, and security's trying to get Fatu and Tama Tonga out of the building. And Jacob's just yelling at them, "Ain't no way in hell you're taking me out of here." Then LA Knight just shows up, shoves Jacob through the door, and says, "I got no time. I got a title to go win." Yeah.
This was amazing. Number one, I'll talk about this first. LA Knight is great. I was talking to Maggie about this. She's like, I can't stand this guy. He just no-sells everybody's mystique. I'm like, yes, that's the great. That's the positive here. That's not a negative. That's a positive. This guy takes the most mystique-laden guy they've got right now, and he just shoves him out the door and says, yeah. LA Knight's back, baby.
He's Teflon.
He is the Samoan werewolf. Nah.
But here's the issue, though, is that right now LA Knight's Teflon. Mark my words, Steve. Prediction time.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the inverse of what LA Knight did to Solo with LA and Jacob Fatu. LA Knight's about to go 0-34 against the Samoan werewolf.
Well, I think it's incredibly likely that that's the Mania match right there, and Jacob Fatu wins the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. They might throw Shinsuke in for a fun triple threat. I don't know. He might be Pinsuke, but yeah, I think LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, that's going to obviously be a thing because of what happened later on tonight. But yeah, for it to start off with LA Knight being so antsy to get to his title match, he just shoves him out the door was amazing.
Yeah, I know.
It
wasn't like his title match was next.
It was. It wasn't. The
women's U.S. title match happened before his match.
This was when we fell in love. Like, we always liked him.
Oh, yeah.
Zondo brings up the 2-for-1 special. when they put him in there with Bray Wyatt of all people, who has the most mystique of anybody, and he bitch slaps him twice, says you got the 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
It was.
Gosh, darn it! That's the LA Knight that I want to see.
Exactly.
And then the other, okay, so the other point, this is actually kind of a meaty thing to talk about to a degree. We saw Jacob, we saw Tama Tonga. Tongaloa is injured. Solo's not. He lost.
Yeah, he's licking his wounds this week. They said he's gonna be back next week.
Okay, all right. It'll be interesting to see, especially given Bad Bloodline picked up that win in the main event, if this is when we're gonna see Jacob start to assert himself like, dude, you lost. You're not the tribal chief, and we're here, and we're not going anywhere. So we're going to start picking at the weak here, and you're the weak, Solo. I don't know.
I think they're going to build to that because I feel like you got to have the moment where Solo's in the ring or the entirety of the Bad Bloodline with Roman, and Roman's like, hey, acknowledge your tribal chief.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You need to have that. You need to have that moment happen, and that's when Solo starts to put his finger up, acknowledging Roman as tribal chief. Jacob Fatu, whoop-ha!
Yeah,
that's when he kicks Solo.
He does
that's
the thing
when the
where
drama's thick.
Solo starts to put it up, and Jacob Fatu stops him.
Yeah,
and people are like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
And then Solo tries to explain to him, "I said I would do this. I'm a man of my word." Whoop-ha!
Yeah,
he gets hit. I like that. And LA Knight shows up and throws him out the door.
Yeah, I got a U.S. title to go win. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to right prior to the main event. Cody's backstage with him, Jim Uso, and Jimmy's like, all this Roman talk. And Cody says, as far as Roman's concerned, I knew this was coming, but we got business to take care of tonight. He leaves. Mello steps in and steps up to Jimmy, says, what's good? Last week it was 3-on-1, but what about now? Says, me and Solo are close, so watch what happens next. And then Jimmy's like, hey, what's that catchphrase you have? He goes, oh, Mello don't miss. And Jimmy says, you have so many bricks you could build a house. And oh, yeah.
And then he goes, no yeet.
No yeet.
And then, yeah, so we had a little, before the match happens, the main event, Cody and Jimmy versus Jacob and Tama Tonga. We had a little promo there, from
Jacob. Gosh, he's
Jacob.
so good.
God damn it, he's good. He says, your bloodline left you on the front line to leave you dead. And Cody, this ain't Elm Street. Your nightmare is here. I don't know why I'm doing the Undertaker.
Why'd you do Undertaker?
I don't know, man. Just fits him. Dude's scary as shit. He's got mystique.
He does have mystique.
And then they won tonight. Did you see that was cool? They brought Undertaker out. He came and did a lap, and they shot the pyro
I watched the
off
entire show. There was no taker.
Because it made sense for the story.
Didn't make any
sense. And then it said, scumbag Lee Fitting, executive producer.
There's no Undertaker, man.
No Undertaker.
None.
Yeah. Oh, dang, MQ's got it perfect here. I'm sorry. Wacky here says, can't wait for LA Knight to no-sell Aleister Black when he comes back. He blocks a black mass.
I know. He's going to spit his gum at Aleister's foot as it spins around for a black mass. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah. He'll probably be slick with it, too. It'll probably go shooting off like it's Mr. Perfect.
I know. And he'll say, nah.
Nada.
Anyways, as mentioned, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu gets the win in the main event because Kevin Owens comes down to ringside. And Cody says when he sees Kevin Owens, it's on sight. So he chases him up the ramp. They brawl backstage. Leaves him, Jim Uso, all alone. He gets hit with a DDT and moonsault from Jacob Fatu. Bad Bloodline gets the win. So afterwards, Cody and Kevin Owens are fighting backstage. They make the way with the technical area. They're brawling on some road cases, and then Cody kind of spears Owens and himself through a couple tables on the floor, and that's how the show ends.
That is right. Along with all that, with Bloodline stuff, we did have an LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura title match. Long match, went a while. Big old wonk finish, thanks to Jacob Fatu, who had found him and Tama Tonga had found their way back into the arena after being kicked out by LA Knight.
They did the inverse of the Grandpa Simpson thing.
Yeah, right.
They escort out, LA Knight leaves, they just turn back around, walk in through the door again.
They come right back in, exactly. So they attack LA Knight. Of course, that match is wonk. Shinsuke Nakamura just he looked like WWE 2K AI. Just like he's like in front of the camera, walks past, goes, grabs his title, he beats feet, and then LA Knight gets jumped. And let's see here. That is, let's see here. Pop-up Samoan drop by Fatu. Yeah, that's right. He hits a moonsault onto LA Knight, and that's when Cody and Jay come down to make the save. And that's when Cody is like,
Yeah,
we
it
want
says,
match.
don't send them out of the arena, Nick Aldis, because they come right back in.
Yeah, they know their
Give
way
us
back
match. And it was booked. So they did a lot leading up to this segment to really highlight Tiffany Stratton's cash-in last week. They had a recap of all of what happened last week. They had the montage of people streaming their reactions and showing them.
Once again, man, where were we in this?
Well, we don't stream SmackDown. We watch it,
Brother. This is what we got to do, because I think they pull this stuff from YouTube Shorts and TikTok.
Sure.
For as long as it's going to be here. We got 9 more days till TikTok is gone. So this is what we got to do. You and I, we just need to sit here. We need to manufacture some big reactions. Or I'll go back in time and I'll go to some of our reactions. Like, what was the big one from, I think it was like a Crown Royal show. It's like back in the office where we're like, oh my God.
Oh, that's when Goldberg beat Bray Wyatt.
Was that one? Okay. So there's that one.
Yeah.
I'll pull that.
You could use on the Twitter GIF keyboard. Yeah.
And I'll just use current footage. Every time that's brilliant. Every time something big happens, I'll use that footage with it.
How about this? You take that footage, you feed it into an AI engine and render it so it looks a little more recent, look more current.
Or we'll just start melding into each other.
Even better.
Like, I'll go like this, and then you'll come
Our
out
two
of my
reactions
eyeballs.
will become one.
Will be a Raw Game Mutant reaction.
Well, that'd be great. Definitely will run that then.
Mystery Max says, do the serial reaction. Bro, I'm going to do that. I've just decided what I'm going to do this weekend, Larson.
There you go. A bunch of reactions, just random reactions.
Yeah, every week you're going to get, oh, you guys want to know our reaction? And then it's like phases into each other.
Exactly. Our heads merge. Anyway, so after the montage and stuff, Nia's backstage with Candice LeRae. And Candice says, I saw Tiffany was going to the ring. And Nia says, well, I wonder what she'll say. I should go congratulate her myself. And so Tiffany comes to the ring. She's interviewed by Byron Saxton. She talks about winning Money in the Bank, cashing in, all at the age of 25. She's a new champion. She says, Nia didn't bully me. I befriended her and she trusted me. She thought I was stupid, but who's the stupid one now? She thought I was a dumb blonde because I let her think that. Because of that, I stole her most prized possession. Now I'm at the tippy top of the game. Without further ado, respect my name and tell me what time it is. So Nia comes out. Mm-hmm. She says, you ungrateful little shit.
You ungrateful little shit. You know what? USA Network, WWE, stop bleeping that. We don't need to bleep that. Come on. Everybody says that word.
Nia continues.
She says, yeah, she can do. I'll pick it up from here.
Sure.
Says, I could kill you right now. You stand there saying you made a fool of me, and at the top, she says you'd be nothing without me. I made you. I mean, congrats on rubbing 2 brain cells together to come up with it. You finally took advantage, and it took you long enough. You're having your moment, all right? It's Tiffy time. Time's up. Give me my championship back, or I'm going to take it from you. And then Bailey's music hits, and she says, ding dog, Nia, shut up. She says, Tiffany, if that was a plan, you got me because I thought you were stupid. Nia, I know you're stupid. You made Tiffany, right? You put her under your wing and she outsmarted you. She says, Tiffany, I know this is your moment of glory, but I don't want you to think I forgot. The only reason Nia won was because of you, and he kept you around, so it didn't change. So it's fitting that I take it from you. So Bailey's laying out her case. Yeah. That brings out Naomi. She's got Bianca with her. And Naomi makes her case. She says, we all know I had you beat, and if it wasn't for Miss Tiffer, I'd have 2 titles. If anybody want to fight Tiffany for the championship, you got to see me first. And Nia's like, Naomi, nobody cares about you. And then she goes into Bianca's face because Bianca's kind of one of the reasons that she lost the title too. And so Nia takes out Bianca. There's a big old thing. And then Nick Aldis says, ladies, allow me to interrupt. He says, y'all 4 are going to be in a match to determine who's going to be number 1 contender. And that match happens right now.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. This match was great.
This match was fantastic. A lot of great near falls. Just fantastic stuff. And we got some story stuff in there too. We got a good moment between Bianca and Bailey. They teased Bianca and Naomi, but they didn't actually throw hands. Instead, they were like, oh, Bailey and Nia are getting up. We need to go take care of them before 2 of us can go at it. In the end, Bailey gets the win. So Nia hits Naomi with a Samoan drop, pins. Bianca breaks it up. Nia throws Bianca into the ring post. Bailey takes out Nia. Bianca hits a spine buster on Bailey, follows with the moonsault for a 2. Bianca's looking for a KOD, but Candice is ringside. She grabs Bianca's braids, and Naomi. So Bianca's pulling her braid away from Candice, and the process of doing so accidentally hits Naomi with it.
Yeah.
So then Bianca tackles Nia over the announce table, and then Bailey hits Naomi with a rose plant to get the win.
That's right. Yeah. We also had a really fun U.S. title match. Chelsea Green against Michin. They've got terrific chemistry here. But once again, Michin got too obsessed with dealing with Piper Niven on the outside. She kicked her once, but Michin was on the apron. Piper was giving her some static on the outside. Well, she had already had Chelsea down. She was going to go up top for a move. And instead, she notices Piper Niven there. Piper's trying to fuck with her, so she kicks her. And then she goes back, and instead of going up for her move, she goes for more. So she launches herself onto Piper, then goes up top, then comes down with a crossbody. But Chelsea's able to come to enough by that point to roll through, grabs the tights, and gets the roll-up win there. And then Piper attacks Michin, and then Chelsea and her both take off. So I don't know if there's much left in this because, like, you know, they've already done this match. This is like the third time, given including the finals and the great street trash match they had.
Yeah, the dumpster match was really good. I mean, I guess given the nature of the finish, especially with Chelsea doing the roll up with a handful of tights, leaves the door open for another match. You'd think.
Yeah.
So
you would think so. Yeah.
So the SmackDown tag division is all out of sorts. DIY is playing pretty deadly. They think there is a quid pro quo there that should be happening. You know, there's still people upset about being accused of attacking Street Profits. Motor City Machine Guns feel like they got done wrong by DIY. So anyway, everybody's backstage save for DIY. You got Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garza, Pretty Deadly, A-Town Down Under. They're all arguing backstage. Nick Aldis pretty much says, Los Garza, Pretty Deadly, you have issues. You go have match. Motor City Machine Guns, A-Town Down Under, both former tag champs. You go have match.
Yeah.
But and like go impress me, and then one of you teams can go take on DIY later.
Yeah.
So the first one of those tag matches, Los Garza taking on Pretty Deadly. Los Garza gets the win.
Yes.
You love their new finish, don't you?
Oh my God, I hate it. I was shocked.
They've done that before.
What's that?
They've done that before. They've hit that move before.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
Oh, all right.
Dude, when's the last time they've had a win on television?
I don't know.
I think it's been a while.
Maybe. Oh, it's when they beat Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin.
That was a little while ago.
Yeah, it was last year.
Did they use that move?
Yeah, they've used that move before. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's a look. Full disclosure, Larson. If they were in there against Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, guess what? I probably wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Shockingly, I was tonight. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that move.
Crazy.
He fucking got hit with that thing. That ref looked concerned.
Yeah.
Boy, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
What's the name of that move, Larson?
And they called it flipping press slam deal.
It had like an acronym. It was like
Yeah.
YPMP, whatever, something like that.
Sure. Your problem, my problem. Sure.
That would be the name of our tag team finish, the MPYP. My problem, your problem.
Yeah, my problem, your problem. Santos and Elektra helped Los Garza get the win with some distraction. And I think it was Elton Prince that ate the finish to get the win. And then Motor City Machine Guns, they beat A-Town Down Under. Like all the matches tonight got a lot of time, which is good.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because you're right. Also, I'm getting the question threads up right now.
I got the one on Patreon up already. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I just did that like a couple moments ago.
Oh, shit. Okay. Because now there's two of them because I didn't realize
doubles.
you did that. Okay. Well, I just did the one on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube channel member, go load up some questions because we're going to need them.
Some questions. We're going to need them.
We're going to pat him out like they patted out with wrestling tonight. Look, man, I think I texted you this. I'm all for when people complain about like, oh, there needs to be more wrestling in my wrestling. Like there shouldn't be that much. You know, give me some goofy soap opera type shit. Because they had a lot of wrestling tonight. And I think that's great because people get their shit in and they get time to shine and they're building stories through matches and the tag division needs it. I told you this is a meat and potatoes episode of SmackDown. And so I'm glad that they are spending the time on the tag division doing these things and giving me these matches. But it was all in like one episode. Yeah. But I guess, you know, that's for SmackDown. They're going to catch up on some of these stories. And one of the way they do that is by doing a bunch of matches. And so we'll get more and more sort of layers to the stories and characters and whatnot in the weeks ahead because now they got 3 hours to fill.
Exactly. You got to fill it with something. So give us good wrestling. I mean, if the quality of matches we could expect on a weekly basis, if we get one match on a weekly basis as good as that women's #1 contender match, heck yeah, sign me up. That match was awesome.
Yeah,
the tag match main event was as formulaic as it gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, the women's #1 contender match. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah,
that was so good.
That was good stuff.
A lot of good creative stuff. A lot of good character stuff. That was such a good match.
Yeah.
But yeah, Motor City Machine Guns gets the win over A-Town Down Under. Hitting Skull and Bones on Austin Theory. They get the win. Another really good match. And backstage, DIY is their Pretty Deadly walk up, and they're like, "Aren't you supposed to be scratching our back?" And Ciampa says, I don't want you scratching my back. And Johnny says, we have a lot of heat on us. We don't want to come out there. And says, we got you guys. Trust us. Haha, yeah. Then Apollo Crews walks up and says, if you're dumb enough to believe them, you deserve what's coming your way. And it's not the title, says that to Pretty Deadly.
All right. So I just looked this up. 4 months ago, Santos Escobar helps Los Garza beat Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. They had a pop-up, like a pop-up knee strike thing.
Oh, I've seen them do this move before.
They tossed Apollo into like a pop-up knee.
Okay.
This one is much more effective. Yeah, and maybe they changed it from like a signature into a finish or something.
That could be.
But my God, the torque on this thing was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, New to This World says Los Garza's last win was August 30th, 2024.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one that I saw.
Sounds right.
I think.
There you go. We got through the entire episode of SmackDown in about 30 minutes.
Not surprising because, you know, what you just talked about, like the tag stuff, was like a good solid hour
just
long
about,
show.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about when they jam-pack the show with long matches. I mean, we could belabor the point. Move after move after move after move, but it doesn't have, we're going to talk about the stories, finishes and stories. That's what
Danny Miller says they usually do that move from the top.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them do that before.
Jesus.
Yeah, they do it if they stay on the second rope, I believe, yeah.
That seems even worse.
Yeah. I don't think because they're standing on the second rope, they don't have as much,
not
as much of like a pendulum effect on there.
W.S. Fletcher says they used it when they were in NXT. Can anybody provide me a clip? This is like a fucking Mandela effect with you guys.
No, this is all just memory, man. Had to be there.
This was never captured on video.
Nope.
It was an in-person experience only. I'm like, you haven't been to a show in forever. How would you know?
They didn't wrestle the SmackDown we went to?
I don't know. My memory is just for shit. Yeah, Jorge says now we get the Rampage review.
No, Rampage's canceled, buddy. No more Rampages.
What did I watch tonight then?
Did you watch a movie with Dwayne?
Oh, that's what it was. I was like, holy shit, The Rock's on Rampage? That's crazy. Sando says those guys were in NXT, were they?
They were yeah, they were tag team in NXT.
Hey, Fear and Loathing says they do that move if you join their Patreon.
They were a team in NXT for a spell, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think I knew that. At some point we dubbed them Humberto's Carrillo.
No, Humberto's Garza's.
Humberto's Garza. Yeah, Humberto's Garza. Yeah, and then they just called him Los Garza, which I think it'd be better if they called him Humberto Garza because that's their name.
Yeah, both of them are named Humberto Garza.
Oh, that was a good fucking laugh.
There we go. All right, you want to answer some questions?
If we have any, hopefully you guys loaded up some questions.
We have a few.
Oh, at the very least, we got one from Maggie per Chat GPT.
Oh,
says Chat GPT wants to know, which moment from tonight's SmackDown do you think will have the biggest ripple effect across all WWE brands and why?
it's Los Garza hitting their finish. It's now the
They're
most
gonna
devastating
be
tag finisher in WWE.
They're gonna be the most feared tag team that on Raw on Netflix. Like War Raiders are gonna be like, holy fucking A, did you see
Los Garza's tag team move?
Los Garza? Like, I've never seen that before. And then Hanson's like, they've done it before.
When? Says
When?
bro. So then they used to do a double pop-up knee thing.
Well, I know I've seen it. And then like fucking JD McDonough comes in. Nah, they used to do it from the second rope.
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah.
Oh man, that was too funny.
Alex Foster here says, instead of making the Finn Damian rivalry better, how would you make it worse? It would just never end.
Yeah, more matches.
More matches for no reason.
More matches. Longer promos.
Yeah.
Hey, Finn. I see. Well, you know, it'd be better if they were in catering. That would be better if they were in catering.
It would be better. So what's the opposite of catering?
In the middle of the ring.
There you go.
Jay Smooth says, what's Seth doing at Mania? Oh, he says, Alistair? Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. Another.
Oh, no.
No. So there was some
Seth,
talk.
you got to get a win, man.
There was some talk about Seth taking on Gunther, but then today the talk was Logan Paul and Gunther, which I don't want to see that match. No.
That shit ain't. What?
Yeah.
I don't want
At
to
the
see
press
that
conference,
shit.
Logan stepped up to Gunther, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Logan Paul.
I mean, look, we have to resign ourselves to the fact that we're going to have to see him.
I understand that. I don't have to be happy about it, though.
Oh, I agree. And I'm not going to be either. I don't like that guy. He tries to pawn moldy cheese on us, on our kids of America.
Not cool with that. No way.
Not cool with that. Don't like the moldy cheese. And he seems like a scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see that match.
No. No. Unless it's 12 minutes of Gunther just chopping him.
Like 5.
But even then,
minutes.
that's a Mania spot that someone else should get.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do that on a Raw. Luis here. Oh, so let's say we do unfortunately get Logan versus Gunther. What is Seth Rollins to do? Punk's wrestling Reigns. Cena with Cody. Does he wrestle Drew again?
Yeah, I was thinking that, but they had a whole thing.
I don't know. Solo?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's beneath Seth.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, Penta. Adam Beveridge says Pentagon. But again, it's another situation where he loses at WrestleMania.
Okay, Pentagon's not that guy, though. He's not the guy that Seth has to lose against. He's not.
Sure about that, buddy?
Yeah. He would lose against Alistair before he'd lose against Penta.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alistair's already been there.
Yeah, I know, and everybody wants to see Alistair now.
But everybody wants to see Penta do cool things too.
Wait, are we talking about the hardcore guy from TNA?
We are.
That
Who
Pentagon?
else am I talking about?
Goldberg. How about that? Seth versus Goldberg.
You know, I would be surprised if Goldberg has a match at Mania. Not about his retirement match. That might be the prelude to it. But
Seth really needs to pull a CM Punk 2014 at this point and tell Triple H, buddy, you got to give me a good spot. I can't be the gatekeeper guy putting people fucking over.
it's like you're making me a doormat, Hunter.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Luis here says, hot take prediction, John Cena will have a match against Tanahashi.
Oh my God, no, he won't.
Nah, no chance.
I'm sure Cena knows who he is.
Oh, absolutely.
He ain't gonna have a match against him though.
Mm-mm.
Blake Whitehouse says for Raw, SmackDown, and AEW, who is the best wrestler that will likely never win a world title because of how bad their creative is? He says Pete Dunne, Carmelo Hayes, and Buddy Matthews. I think Carmelo Hayes is gonna win a world title.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Pete Dunne's anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
Like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, phenomenal wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them getting near a world title anytime soon.
Yeah.
In AEW, yeah, Buddy's a good person.
There's a lot of really great wrestlers there. Like Pac ain't gonna get a world title.
No.
Who's the best wrestler? I don't even know. Look, given how loaded they are, I don't think it's. I think that probably my answer right now would be Takeshita. I could see him getting a world title. I could also see him not getting a world title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a
I thought you were
foregone
gonna say
conclusion.
Okada.
Oh, he'll get the world title. Who do you think has a better chance, Okada or Takeshita?
Probably Okada, but I don't know if it's by much at this point.
Okay.
I don't know.
They seem to they're making a big deal about Okada right now.
Well, he won the Continental Classic, and then, yeah, I know, but we'll see how long he's featured into interesting creative after that.
He'll get like a 6-month bulk where they'll put the world title on him. He'll drop it 6 months later. He ain't gonna sniff it again.
Could be. Joshua here says, so I watched a couple episodes of Dynamite because I heard about it from both of you, but honestly, with no recap or commentary not saying anything, it's hard for a new or casual viewer to catch up. Like, why was Ricochet attacking Swerve? Do you think AEW will change their style to suit more casual viewers?
That's
Probably
a
not.
really good. That's some decent insight right there.
It is. It is. They don't do the recaps the same frequency that WWE does. Not to say they don't do them at all, because they do on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do them with the same frequency. So if you have never seen Dynamite, don't watch it for months and try to come back to it. Yeah, it's kind of easy to not know exactly why things are happening.
You know, I'll be honest with you, dude. Like going back, trying to remember, because like you and I had kind of different paths to wrestling, as we talked about already. You know, as a little kid, you would get him, you sort of be off and on. With me, I just sort of hopped into it in college when I started hanging out with like, you know, you guys. And yeah, I know they did recaps back then, but like pretty much in wrestling, you just got to jump in.
Yeah, kind of.
And I get you're going to have questions, but within like 3 or 4 episodes, you'll be caught up, you know. I mean, that is kind of the thing about AEW, though, is that like they do rely on shit that happens outside the company that sometimes even predates the company.
Yeah.
And then you have to just listen to Excalibur speedrun a Wikipedia entry
Yeah.
as their like recap of what happened, you know, and why these people hate each other or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that is definitely a disservice or a disadvantage that they have in terms of presenting to casual fans or people who, hey, I heard about this, I want to dive into it. And then you're like, what is, you know, what is going on? Chikara?
Yeah.
What is Chikara? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Payday. We did this for the men's rumble, but Payday says predict the final 4 for both the Royal Rumbles. So I think we decided on Seth, Roman, Drew, and Cena.
Yeah. All right. For the women's rumble, I'll hedge my bets and say Becky and Charlotte are in the final 4.
Bianca.
So Rhea's champion and Tiffany's champion.
Io, because Io might win it.
Io, yeah. Io's my pick right now, I think.
So Io, Bianca, Charlotte,
Becky,
Becky.
Charlotte, Bianca, Io. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm a lot of questions over here. What do you got?
Guy Incognito says, what should Penta's finisher be in WWE? It should be the jackhammer type thing he was doing in AEW.
He should do a singles version of what Los Garza does.
So basically an Alabama slam.
It's just an Alabama slam,
Effectively.
yeah. Yeah, basically.
Chris Deaton here says, do you think if you drink Hogan's terrible beer that your internal organs will come crashing down and hurt inside, make you fight for what's right and fight for your life?
I mean, definitely fight for your life, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. It probably tastes like No disrespect to PBR, but it's probably PBR-ish. That's my guess. Not ideal. If it's a $2 special, PBR is my guy.
Yeah.
If it's a $2 special, I guess Real American Beer is going to be my guy. Oh, man.
All right,
Oh, Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace might be in the Final Four.
Oh,
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyways. One last question over there, dude.
No, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show then. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back on Tuesday.
Correct.
For the Raw review, so join us for that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.